Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So here we are in the beautiful Yorkshire countryside today, filming on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, which I got yesterday. I've had it for just over 24 hours now, and I've enjoyed using this phone enormously. It's one of the most exciting phones of 2026 so far. So why the edition I picked up was not just the standard Xiaomi 17 Ultra. I went for the Xiaomi 17 Ultra Leica edition. So it's the top of the range edition with all the fancy extras. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go over the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. Is it worth buying? I want to show you some examples of the camera shots I've used so far. Yes, I've only had the phone 24 hours, but I think this phone's so exciting. I can't wait to get this on the channel and show you some of the results I found out with this camera. So the unique version of the phone I picked up comes packaged, I'll show you the unboxing, comes packaged with a big selection of extras, and it does cost you an extra £300 or £400 for this phone. It's lots of fancy Leica branding, you get Leica badges on the phone. So I want to also find out, is it worth buying this version of the phone? Is it worth spending an extra £400 on this version of the phone, or should you just go for the standard Xiaomi 17 Ultra? Because they can get some fancy colours in that phone, and I don't know. Let's have a look at this and think about it in this video. So let's start off with, as usual on this channel, let's look at the phone and the design of the phone. So as I mentioned, we're going to start off with the design of this phone. So I've picked up the Leica edition of this phone. It has got a fancy word at the end of it. I don't want to try and pronounce that because of my terrible pronunciation. If those of you who watch the channel regularly will know, it does get a bit dodgy sometimes, so I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but you know what I mean when I say the Leica edition. So I picked this up 24 hours ago. The design is very similar to the 15 Ultra from last year. So the 15 Ultra was a great camera phone. It's one of my favourite camera phones of 2025, but it did have some flaws. As a lot of reviewers will have said, it had some issues with the software, had some issues with the display, and it had some issues with bugs and such on the camera. So it wasn't the most perfect phone available in the market at the time, but it did for fantastic camera capabilities when you took it out into the wild and also everyday situations. So we've got a new 6.9-inch display this year, so it's a full-size 6.9-inch flat display, no curves this year like last year. It's a flat display, so those of you who can be sigh of relief, you can use a tempered glass screen protector on it without having to go for a TPU one, which is great. Shout yes, hooray. Then on the back, you've got the usual huge camera bump, which takes up the same room as last year. But one of the reasons I didn't like the design of the 15 Ultra last year was because the camera bump was too big for the size of the phone. So I think last year the phone was a little bit shorter. So I found the camera bump actually got in the way of holding the phone. You'd catch your hands on the camera bump all the time. That's been improved this year. The camera bump's still as big, if not a little bit bigger, but actually it easily takes up the back of the phone. So it easily doesn't take up the back of the phone because the phone's got a bigger display. So it just makes it that much easier to use the phone and hold it everyday situation. Because the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was a fantastic camera phone, as I mentioned, but the design wasn't really thought out as well. They put the cameras first and the usability second, so I did not like using it as my main phone. When you're spending £1,300 on a phone, you want to use it as your main phone. I'd say the buttons on the side of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra are quite few and far between. So we've got a power button and 2 volume buttons, that's it. So we've got no camera shutter button, we've got nothing, but then you do get the photo kit thrown in with most of these phones if you buy it from Xiaomi, which I got thrown in with mine. So you get the full camera button on that and the full Xiaomi 17 package, photo package with it, which does actually give you quite a lot for it. I'll go over that in another review because there's so much to talk about with this phone once I've used it more, because I've not even had a chance to use the photo kit yet, which I will do later on and let you know if it's worth buying extra if you don't get it bundled with the phone. So once you've looked over the front glass of the display, then you go onto the back of the phone. This is where you've got the huge camera bump. As mentioned, that's covered by Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. So this year we've got some nice protection on the rear glass, so it's less likely to scratch and more shatter resistant as well, because that's a big piece of glass and it's going to be an expensive replacement if you drop this phone or scratch it, and it's very susceptible to scratching. Luckily, the Leica edition I've got comes with a lens cap, which looks very camera-esque, but also offers that protection from scratching and everyday drops, which is great to have at this price point as well. So the body of the phone is aluminium. It's got the Leica edition's got a nice ridged aluminium finish. It's got designed by Leica on the side of it. Lots of Leica branding, as mentioned. Looks very cool, very premium, feels very premium for the price. The standard 17 Ultra comes with an aluminium finish glass back on it and the same finish, very similar finish, just not without the ridges, and a slightly different finish on the side, but looks overall pretty similar. So the display is 3,500 nits of peak brightness, which may sound quite low to some people, considering we're looking at 6,000 nits now from the likes of Motorola on some of their phones on the manufacturers. Also, the resolution is FHD, Full HD Plus, so it's a bit lower than some other manufacturers. As I mentioned, that's kind of the trend this year. We've got a refresh rate of 120 Hz LTPO tech, which is obviously 120 Hz is fine, but we are seeing phones like the OnePlus 15 go up to 165 Hz in gaming only. But whether that's a problem or not, I don't know. I have tried the 165 Hz mode in the OnePlus 15, and it is pretty good at gaming. It does you do feel it noticeably faster, but this isn't a gaming phone. This is a camera phone. So the screen also has a 416 ppi, so it's a bit lower than the OnePlus 15, Oppo X9 Pro, and probably the Oppo X9 Ultra coming out soon. So there's some big players in the market. We've got, as I mentioned, we've got the Oppo X9 Ultra, we've got the Vivo X300 Ultra, we've got some serious camera phones coming out this year that this phone's going to have to compete with. So the first one out, obviously, out of these Ultra phones, so what I want to find out over the next few months is, can this phone stand up to the other phones on the market, and can it beat them, or can it exceed, and because we found out last year the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was not the best phone on the market necessarily in terms of camera, but it did hold up to it because it had some the camera quality was very good, and the Leica filters were excellent as well, so that partnership with Leica kind of saved it in some ways. So screen not the best on the market, but still stands out pretty good. So I'm out here in the beautiful sunshine. I've got the brightness ranked up to 3,500 nits, and I have no problem seeing the screen. So do we actually need 6,000 nits? Because I think a lot of manufacturers throw these headline-grabbing nit features into these phones, and it is like one small section of the screen at full peak brightness, HDR brightness. It will give you that result. So most of the time, it will stick to a lot less resolution. So I'm pretty happy with the screen so far. Okay, now let's talk cameras then. So the cameras are the headline of this phone. So they're all Leica branded cameras. The phone has been developed in collaboration with Leica, even the standard 17 Ultra. The Leica edition is kind of been given to Leica and said, make us a phone make us a phone is basically a camera with phone capabilities, and we'll do the hardware. So what we've got here is a 1-inch sensor, Leica design sensor on the front, on the back camera, which is a 1-inch 50 megapixel main sensor, which has so far been incredible, and it offers that 1-inch light for low light. 1-inch sensor will give you excellent low light performance. It won't get too grainy in low light. It will let lots of light in, which is what they're going for on this phone. So you can do street photography in low light situations at night. Should give you excellent results. So far I've not done too much low light photography, but I'll keep posted on that how it goes. Last year's 15 Ultra had a very similar sensor and was very good, so I'm expecting great things from this 17 Ultra. Then we've got a 200 megapixel periscope, brand new telephoto lens for this year. So it's a mechanical telephoto lens, 200 megapixels. So Leica developed sensor, big sensor. It's 1 by 1.4 inch, so it's nearly a full size 1-inch sensor again on the back, just a bit shy of it on that telephoto camera. So again, expecting fantastic results. And what we've got inside here is a mechanical optical zoom up to about 10 or I think it's 16 times on the Xiaomi specifications. So the way they do it is they move the lens inside the housing. It's very clever. I think so. Sony did this in their Xperia series, but didn't really take off because it's expensive to manufacture. But so far it's been amazing. I've got some amazing telephoto results, which I'll put on the channel and show you some shots I've taken with it. It's better than last year's telephoto on the Xiaomi 15, which was also an excellent telephoto. So I'm expecting great things from this. So I think it goes up to about 150 or 125 around that zoom. So about 70 to 135, 150 millimeter zoom on the. I'll put the note down below with the exact specification when I have it in front of me to let you know. But that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. And so far, you can get some brilliant results. We've got up to 100 times zoom on it, digitally enhanced, which, look, again, isn't really useful, but does look okay if you just want to use it on social media, etc. Then we're moving. Finally, we've got a 50 megapixel ultra wide, which is the weakest camera of them all, as the ultra wide tends to be, but it still offers decent results. Then we've got a 50 megapixel front selfie camera, which, as you can see, is pretty good. Offers pretty good specifications. It does up to 4K 60 Dolby Vision recording. Offers excellent recording capabilities and selfie pictures with some of the Leica filters on it as well. So the headline of this camera system is then so I've got the Leica version, which comes with a wheel on the back of the phone that you can turn, and you can set it up different ways. So you can move it to use the zoom. You can do it change the filters on the camera itself. There's lots of things you can do with that, changing settings on it. So I had to play around with it, and so when I first unboxed it, I found it a bit annoying actually, because it used to, when I put the lens cap on it, it was kind of moving all the time and getting lots of haptic feedback. So you can turn that off. So you can turn it off in the settings if anyone's got this phone. So you can say, like, only come on when you've got the camera, because you want to use it when the camera's on anyway, to be honest. So just bear that in mind, you can change the settings on it. So that ring is kind of the main thing over the standard 17 Ultra, which again, is it worth paying that extra money? I don't know, I'm not sure, but so far I am enjoying that, using that ring. It just feels more camera-y with it. And I'll go over at the end of the video, we know what is the difference between the 17 Ultra and the 17 Leica version as well. So in terms of video performance then, so we've got the usual, this phone is really marketed as a content creator's dream. So we've got all the major video formats, 4K 120 Dolby Vision, which is a big headline feature this year on Android phones. We've got all the Leica filters, which I'll go through and kind of demo on the video, show you, because I can't name them all, there's so many, which you can use on the video for lots of creative control. We've got tons of stuff on there that I can go on for forever. And so far the video performance has been great. I can use this as a camera phone. I'm desperate to get back to the studio and hear what the microphone quality is like. So I'm not using any external mic. Look, I'm just using the microphone built into the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. So now we've kind of covered the camera system, which is loads more to talk about, but I'll probably do another video on it later on because there's so much to talk about. I'm going to talk about the speakers on the phone. So the actual sound quality of the speakers is good. It's not the best sounding flagship phone I've heard. I think that's the Honor Magic 8 Pro so far, or probably the Poco F8 Ultra, which offers amazing Bose sound system. They're kind of the phones I was comparing it to, but it's not bad either. It's very. I'll try and show you a sample on the channel. It sounds okay. So here's the sample from the speakers on the phone. So I think the last thing to cover off then is performance. So we've got the usual Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which has been used in all the big flagships this year. Powerhouse of a CPU, beats Apple's A19 Pro in most tests. It's got combined with 16 gigabytes of DDR5X memory, which is UF and then UFS 4.1 storage speed, which is the fastest storage available on the market. So the Xiaomi 17 Standard Ultra comes in two versions, which is a 512GB and the same storage speeds, and then also with 16 gig of RAM and a terabyte version with 16 gig of RAM. So the version I've got here is the Leica Leitzphone version, which comes with only 1 terabyte of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. So it is the ultra premium version with that Leica branding. So let's talk about this a bit more. So the standard 17 Ultra comes with exactly the same specifications. It's got the same camera on it. It doesn't come with the focus ring on it or the zoom ring on it, however you want to configure it. It doesn't come with the Leica branding, doesn't come with all the bits in the Leica box. So is it worth it? So far, I would say I really enjoyed the Leica version. It's very cool. It's got lots of nice stuff with it. It's got a lens cap with the leather case. It's got lots of bits on it that are nice to have, but the standard 17 Ultra is a great phone, and if you want to save a bit of cash, go for the standard 17 Ultra. Don't bother. It's a special edition phone. It's great to have, but it's only really a money no object kind of phone. So I'd go for the standard 17 Ultra if I was at the moment. But I'll drop some more thoughts on it at the channel, let you know which one you should kind of go for. But I think the standard 17 Ultra so far is the one that's kind of I'm looking at the moment. If I was going to buy again, I wouldn't necessarily go for the Leica edition, but it is nice to have. You've got some nice bits on it, like the focus ring is kind of cool. But do bear in mind that if you're going to buy third-party cases for this phone, that the focus ring does kind of stick out sometimes on the case and doesn't fit very well, so it is worth mentioning. But the standard case that comes with the Leica version is pretty good. It's leather with MagSafe, and it is a nice case, so you probably wouldn't want to buy one anyway. So thanks for watching, guys. I think that pretty much sums it up. Get involved in the comments down below. What do you think of this phone? Would you kind of look at it? I think we've got some big hitters coming out this year. We've got the Oppo X9 Ultra. We've got the Vivo X300 Ultra. We've got we're all with camera kits. The X300 Ultra, especially what they've been showing off at the Barcelona conference this week, it looks pretty impressive with that with that rig setup and the zoom lens and everything. So, this phone's got some serious competition this year, so I'll keep you up to date on what's coming out, and I'll try and get hold of some of these other phones to compare it to. So thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything you particularly want me to go over on the phone. I'll try and get it on the channel. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll speak to you next time.